There are many people posting about Tesla's secret and the real purpose of Wardenclyffe. This is not just another one. This is the result of about 20,000 hours of researching Nikola Tesla's work. I have checked and cross-checked all conclusions with every available trustworthy source. I say trustworthy because many documents have been altered by other people and some are complete fabrications. For this project, only verified source material, mostly by Nikola Tesla himself, has been used. Nikola knew that he might fail to complete his magnum opus, so he wrote this article in the Century magazine of June 1900. This article he sent off as a glimmering spark to kindle a new fire in the distant future. Tesla used a code in this and many other articles since 1896. This code would someday get cracked, and Tesla's treasure would be revealed. The following lines, which, but for your initiative, might not have been given to the world for a long time yet, are an offering in the friendly spirit of old, and my best wishes for your future success accompany them. A document describing both the code and the treasure can be found in the links below. After the introduction of alternating current, roughly from 1889 until 93, Tesla focused his research on creating a machine to derive energy from the surrounding medium. Tesla called this his self-acting engine, or self-regenerative resonant transformer, and later his magnifying transmitter. I will not show you all the existing misconceptions about the magnifying transmitter and prove they are wrong. I will take you straight to the real thing and let you be the judge. The ultimate source of energy on Earth is the Sun, and according to Tesla, the Sun is charged to a potential of 216 billion volt positive. A highly charged electrode in a vacuum emits particle rays of transcending penetrative power. This he calls the primary solar rays, or more general, primary cosmic rays. These rays, when they interact with matter, produce Bremsstrahlung, which Tesla refers to as secondary cosmic rays. These secondary rays hit the Earth from all directions day and night, and they ionize gases in our atmosphere, setting free many positive and negative charges. These charges are suspended in a delicate balance in the Earth's electric field. When this balance gets disturbed, lightning is the result. Thus, lightning is the proof of the existence of this energy. But lightning proves something more. Lightning strikes are often hundreds of meters long, while the voltage is only a few million volts. It has been experimentally verified that once you cross the 1 megavolt line, discharges can get much longer than the rough 1 megavolt per meter rule that applies below this line for pulse discharges. In a high voltage discharge, we have to consider two effects, an electric and a magnetic. The electric field accelerates neighboring charges, and while they move, they create a magnetic field that draws them together. Thus, the high voltage discharge sucks in neighboring charges, adding them to the discharge, and so more electrons arrive at the anode than have left the cathode. This mechanism can be used to harvest atmospheric electricity, and that is what Tesla's magnifying transmitter was supposed to do. I will tell you in the most general way. The cosmic ray ionizes the air, setting free many charges, ions and electrons. These charges are captured in a condenser, which is made to discharge through the circuit of the motor. But this presents us with a new problem: how to use these charges that are under an excessively high voltage. This brings us to the third lightning discovery by Tesla: standing waves in the Earth's electric charge. Tesla found that the Earth resonates electrically at a frequency of 11.77 Hz or a multiple thereof. This can be used to create standing waves, and that is what the so-called free system, the piston not connected to anything else, or the motor was to do. This standing wave is consequently picked up by a receiving system and converted into a usable form. And now things are really getting interesting, because this receiving system could also be a magnifying transmitter that now no longer needs a traditional power supply. Or better still, the receiver could be the sender, and once started, power itself. Isn't that a perpetuum mobile, you may ask? Well, strictly speaking, no, it is not, because there's an outside power supply. It is much like solar energy, only this one has to be started with conventional power. This is why Tesla called it a self-regenerative resonant transformer, before the name was changed into magnifying transmitter. In the process, as I had primarily conceived it for the utilization of energy from the ambient medium, there were 5 essential elements in combination, and each of these had to be newly designed and perfected, as no such machines existed. The mechanical oscillator was the first element of this combination, and, having perfected this, I turned to the next, which was an air compressor of a design in certain respects resembling that of the mechanical oscillator. Similar difficulties in the construction were again encountered. But the work was pushed vigorously, and at the close of 1894 I had completed these 2 elements of the combination, and had thus produced an apparatus for compressing air, virtually to any desired pressure, incomparably simpler, smaller and more efficient than the ordinary. I was just beginning to work on the 3rd element, which, together with the first 2, would give a refrigerating machine of exceptional efficiency and simplicity, when a misfortune befell me in the burning of my laboratory, which crippled my labors and delayed me. Shortly afterwards, Dr. Carl Linde announced the liquefaction of air by a self-cooling process, demonstrating that it was practicable to proceed with the cooling until liquefaction of the air took place. This was the only experimental proof which I was still wanting, that the energy was obtainable from the medium in the manner contemplated by me. Let's go over the parts again. Tesla identified 5 parts. Part 1 is an oscillator. This we know as the primary circuit of a Tesla coil. Part 2 is a compressor. This is a secondary winding, preferably split into a tightly coupled secondary and a magnetically free extra coil. Part 3 is the expansion nozzle, or discharge gap. Here, all the magic takes place. Atmospheric electricity is collected, and the free system is set into motion. Part 4 is the free system. This creates the high frequency of vibration that is sent into the Earth. Part 5 is the receiver, where the energy is made available for use. This is what Nikola Tesla called his magnifying transmitter, and not this 3-coil resonant transformer. I hope this video will trigger people to verify what I say and see for yourself that it's the truth, the only truth, and nothing but the truth. Then people will realize the true genius of Nikola Tesla and that indeed he had worked for the future. His future is now, and it is up to us to pick up this shriveled chrysalis and release the beautiful industrial butterfly. Without wishing to put myself on the record as a prophet, I do not hesitate to say that the next years will see the establishment of an air power, and its center may not be far from New York.